All right, folks, welcome to this episode of Live from the Black House, aka the Darrell Douglas Show. Right? Happy to see y'all today. We had a big day yesterday, didn't we?
Yes.
Didn't we have a big day yesterday? I had a big day today. Let me tell you, I went to the barber shop, 2020 Cuts on Alameda. Okay, I go to the, whenever you go to a barber shop, you go to the guy in the first chair. His name is Corey. He's from Detroit. Okay. Let me tell you about the first chair, right? The guy in the first chair usually answers the phone. He kind of runs the place. He's usually the best barber. And if you follow me on Instagram, I have given this guy, Corey, a lot of free advertisement because he does the facial and the this and the that. Well, today, folks, if you notice, my forehead is at least 1 inch larger than it was the last time we did this one. And hey, it's okay. It's totally okay because, right, no baldness. I have a full head of hair. I'll be all right in a couple of weeks. But I want to acknowledge the thing and call it out before y'all get a chance. And I think we should do that more. I think we should do that more in life, right? Have you ever forgot to put on deodorant? Have you ever forgot to put on? Okay, acknowledge it. You should be the one to say, hey, I forgot to put on deodorant today. It takes the mystique out of all of it. It just makes everything so much better. Y'all, I'm so excited for our list of guests today, okay? The very first one had a big day yesterday. To my right, your left. Could she be the next city council member for at-large position 4? The one and only, take a look, folks, Alejandra Salinas! Welcome to the Black House.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, we are excited to have you. We're going to get more to you in your big race and what's next and what are your plans and your policies and this and that. But I want to know, before we introduce the other folks, what was yesterday like? Was it what you thought it would be? And I'm not talking about the numbers. I'm talking about when you found out you're in the runoff.
So that moment.
Yes. So
we first got a good idea that we would be in the runoff when we got the early vote results.
And did y'all get them before we got them?
No.
Okay, so at 7:10 or 7:40, yeah.
So we were hitting refresh just like everybody else.
Okay.
And honestly, I felt a lot of peace yesterday because I was really proud of the campaign we had run.
You ran a good campaign.
I mean, I spent all day knocking on doors, calling voters with the teachers union and the CWA and the AFL.
Miss Jackie and
yes,
was Zeph involved?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
We had a great group of folks, and I was just really proud of the hundreds of people that we had organized and had volunteered their time and their monetary support. And so I just knew no matter what happened, I was proud of our campaign. And so when the results came out and reflected that hard work, I was just really happy.
Was it like, whew?
I was relieved, and then when we got the final results at 5:08 this morning, I was excited, and at 9 a.m. I was out starting to call supporters to get ready for the runoff.
Wow, I'm not gonna lie. I knew you were supposed to be here today, but had you not, I would have understood, because I know sometimes it's like, yeah, I'm gonna do all the things, and then it's exhausting. But you're here.
I'm here. I've been out. We've had a full day of campaigning, so I'm really excited. I'm energized by the energy we had last night at the watch party.
Okay.
The energy of people that are so excited about where we're at in the race, and the possibility to elect the first Latina to the city council, city hall, and it's citywide in 30 years is pretty exciting.
Wait.
We have not elected a Latina citywide since Gracie Signs over 30 years ago.
It's been 30 years since Gracie Signs. I see her at City Hall all the time. She's kind of still elected. That's a whole nother story. Okay. And to my left, well, it's not really y'all's right because y'all can't see the whole room. But over here, we have the one and only, and I know we go back to Houston Area Urban League. I wasn't a member, but you were, and you were very active. Yes. Markia Bordeaux.
Woo!
Who has a huge race ahead of her.
I do.
Here comes the judge.
Yes. I like the name.
You
I
like
like
the
the sound.
name?
I like all of it.
Okay.
Yes.
Absolutely. We're going to come back to you. And then this gentleman whose signs looks like the Houston Rockets sign. Okay. Kind of smart. Kind of smart. Now, I said that. He didn't. So don't y'all send him no cease and desist. Like I said, it looks like the Astros. And I think it's a good idea. I think it's a nice sign. The one and only Jovan Tyler.
Woo! Yay!
Jovan for Houston. Let me tell you something. He's running to replace Sally Alcorn. And whoever you are out there that is considering entering that race, okay, it is 2025. You should seriously reconsider, okay? Because you don't want to, who wants to put their house up, right? Get another lien on their house to run for office, right? He is the son of Anise Parker. He's the former president or chair, whatever they call it, of the caucus.
That's right.
He's a businessman.
That's right.
Save your money. Do something else. Okay?
Save your money.
Save your money. Do
Save your
something
money.
else. Don't really get to him. We're going to get to him later, too. But we're going to start with Alejandra Salinas, who I first met because she reached out and was like, hey, I'm running for city council. I mean, y'all, when you're running for office, these are the things that you have to do. And I was just so impressed. And when I did my recap, I actually talked about I talked about that conversation here because Amber was sitting right there. And I talked about the fact, if you can't tell, I'm a talker. And let me tell y'all, not only did Alejandra pay for breakfast, but she did not rush me. Like usually people are like, it's 15 minutes, let's go. And so you're really authentic in your run. What has that been like? How many breakfasts and lunches and dinners? And is that the way you come in first place in a special election?
I think it's a lot of listening to people. The feedback I've gotten again and again is that what makes this campaign different is that I've spent a lot of time just listening. I don't meet with people and I tell them, these are all the ways we're going to fix things. But I sit and ask, what do you think? And what are you seeing in community? And how would you like to go about solving the problem? And the best ideas that I've talked about in this campaign are things I've learned in those conversations. It was a breakfast when I learned about the fact that community brings grant applications to the city. It was in community when I learned about, the sinkholes being created by leaky pipes. It's by having those conversations. It's, that is how I have learned what I've needed to learn to run this race. But that's what I'm going to do as a city council member. Using every opportunity I can to listen to community and have that conversation. That's the only way we get things done.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, and then I want to tell the people in the control room, y'all usually put me a little timer up there and I really need it. But I'll also say, so take us back. Like you don't just end up running. I mean, we went to sleep. You were in second place. We woke up. You were in first. So you were in first place for at-large 4. Where did all of this come from? Were you one of those like, city, what do they call it? Student council? Were you,
Yeah. So I got my start in politics when I was a sophomore in high school. I organized a walkout to protest George Bush's immigration bill. I grew up in South Texas, and the bill had a provision that would have made it a felony to anyone who aided or abetted an undocumented immigrant. And living in a border town, you can imagine that would be a whole lot of people who are doing nothing wrong but just helping community. And I thought that was crazy, and I thought that we as a community needed to talk about it and stand up against it. And nobody was doing anything in my community, but around the country, students were walking out of their high schools to protest the bill. It was some of the largest protests at that time. And I was inspired by those students. And I said, even though I was this nerdy debate kid, never done anything political, gotten in any trouble, I was like, I want to stand up and help organize my peers to do it. And so we organized this walkout. The school principal found out it was me. She threatened me with suspension. And we ended up organizing this great forum where students got to talk about their positions for and against the bill. And it was just like this incredible experience for me, like turned on a light bulb. It was like, wow, helping people find their voice and advocate. I was just sold, and I knew that's what I wanted to do with my life. And so that was how I got my start. Went off to college at the University of Texas, became the first national Hispanic president of the College Democrats of America, where I got
Did not know that.
Got to organize students nationally for President Barack Obama. I came out as LGBTQ on the stage at the Democratic National Convention in 2012.
Wow.
Went off to law school, went off to clerk for the chief judge of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit, and then worked on Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign, where I led her LGBTQ outreach after Pulse. So it was this incredible opportunity to do a lot of intersectional organizing, and then did organizing as a regional field director for her in the last few weeks of the campaign. So learned a lot about field, learned a lot about what it takes to win campaigns. And then I cried for a day, got in the car, and I've been here in Houston ever since for almost a decade. And I've just loved being a lawyer and now a partner at Sussman Godfrey. And in my pro bono practice, I'm sure we'll talk about it, I've had an incredible opportunity to help community, including in 2022 when I had the privilege of representing Lena Hidalgo and Tanisha Hudspeth and Carla Wyatt and Marilyn Burgess when the Republicans tried to overturn their election in 2022. We fought back and secured our election. And representing students in Magnolia ISD who were being kicked out of class just because of the style of their hair, we fought back and got those students back into class. And when I was a baby lawyer, my first year, I had the privilege of working as a part of the team that overturned misdemeanor cash bail right here in Harris County.
Look at that.
Alejandra for president.
Alejandra for president. You know, it's crazy because this race that you're running for, I was talking to somebody the other day and they reminded me, you're running because Letitia Plummer stepped down. Well, Letitia Plummer was there because Amanda Edwards had stepped down.
Ooh.
If you get it, will you step down? I'm kidding. We're joined in the comments by Tara Taylor and James Ramari. Tara Taylor says, glad to finally see her speak. Somebody's putting up the hearts. Put it in the comments if you have questions for anybody here. I will ask if it is appropriate, because some of y'all can be out of line. I will ask the questions. We have two other guests, but we're going to stay with you just for a moment. What kind of high school student were you? Like, in high school, I'd never, like, which table did you sit at? Like, I didn't sit at a table. So when lunchtime would come, I was always in the library, on the computers, on eBay, because, like, I was an entrepreneur. So, like, I was on eBay, like, doing stuff during my lunch period. Where were you?
I was a nerdy debate kid. I was doing all the debate and speech competitions, and so we would be doing research, we'd be putting together our cases, we'd be practicing for our extemporaneous speaking, and then as I, got more interested in politics, I started sort of hanging out with that crowd in that space. But yeah, I was a nerdy kid who just kind of kept to myself, and then got more involved as I got inspired by what was happening in my community.
Okay. And then, so eventually you come here to Houston, which I say is the greatest city that there ever was.
Absolutely.
I'll say off the top of my head, some of my favorite staples in the city of Houston are Marcus Davis's The Breakfast Club, okay? I love Timmy Chan's. Let me tell you something. Give me a 6-piece wings with rice and gravy, okay? I love Shipley's Donuts. I love recently Hotel Zaza. They have a restaurant in there called Monarch. It is like my spot. What are some of your favorite places in Houston?
So my favorite restaurant, because I proposed to my wife there, is Theodore Rex. It was during COVID, and they were so just wonderful to us, and they brought the ring out to my wife on a platter, and they were playing the music that we love to listen to, and so I just have wonderful memories of Theodore Rex. But I love Christie's Donuts. It's near my home in Montrose, and we can always go for some great burger joint. But there's just so much good food and just like culture.
Yes.
My wife and I, our first date was at the Alley Theater. We went to go see Humans. And we love going to stages. We just love I think what's so cool about Houston is that, while we certainly have challenges with affordability that we need to address, for a city of our size, we have so many incredible opportunities for culture and food that it's just, and it's this incredible melting pot. So we love our Friday night date nights, getting to go out and explore community.
Yes. Deja says, burger joint, Papa Dough, there's no S. People say Papados, and it is not. I love Papados too. I get the pasta Mardi Gras.
Yes.
Okay, and I add whatever kind of sauce. I tell them to add extra sauce. And then I swap out my shrimp for extra andouille sausage, and then I get a 3-wheel motion, and we call it a day. If I get 2 of them, I'm catching an Uber home. Okay, I'm leaving my car, and I'm catching an Uber home. I also love. Okay, I used to love. This used to be my favorite spot. And those that have followed me for a while know Ninfa's on Navigation used to be so good, but it's like Ninfa's, Whataburger, all these places have like changed their ingredients.
Right.
And it's not as good. You used to go and get Whataburger and the bag would have the grease at the bottom, right? And that's how you knew it was good.
That's how you knew
it was good. And it's not like that anymore. You go and it is not. Burger joint I've never been. What did you say? Theodore Rex?
Theodore Rex.
Theodore Rex. Theodore Rex. Okay, so y'all put that down. Put that on the thing. So
Go there and get the Texas toast. The tomato toast.
The tomato toast. Okay.
Out of this world.
Okay, have to do that. So we know what your platform looks like because somebody put it through ChatGPT and put it up on their site.
No comment.
I said it. Okay, but I kid. That keeps y'all here, right? I have to have fun. Okay, but so we know that part. What are you doing on the weekends, like for fun? What are you in your, what do y'all do?
Well, right now we genuinely spend our weekends knocking on doors, taking our puppies out for walks in between.
Okay.
Friday night, like I said, that's date night for Elizabeth and I. We're both so busy. She's an incredible lawyer and is getting involved in community, so that's sort of our time. But I would say hanging out with our puppies. My dad's been coming up a lot to visit and help with the campaign, and so getting to show him some parts of Houston. But we just love exploring the art and food scene and just like walking around Montrose as much as we can. We love to like walk on over to Whole Foods, grab something, or just walk on over to a coffee shop. It's just such a great part of town.
What's your coffee order, Alejandra? What is your coffee order? I'll tell you what mine is. And I get in a lot of trouble because I go to Starbucks and I know we're supposed to be boycotting them. But if y'all can tell me, if y'all can show me a place that can do a nitro cold brew, like a good nitro cold brew, okay, I'll go. But till then, I'm breaking a boycott. Now, what is your coffee order?
So I like so I like variety. I have to I can't always order the same thing, but my sort of general mix is a matcha latte,
Okay.
a cold brew with a little bit of half and half,
Ooh,
and an iced vanilla latte.
nice.
So that's my mix. And the other thing I didn't mention, what I love to do, especially with my dad, is go to concerts.
Ooh.
We go to all sorts of concerts with my dad and my sisters. We got to see Beyonce this year.
Oh my God.
Got to see AC/DC. We went to go see Metallica. We saw Madonna. We see just all types of artists. And it's just so much fun to go and enjoy live music with folks.
That is so cool. I'm going to throw this to you and to the other 2 guests as well before I introduce y'all. Okay, without thinking too hard, and y'all put this in the comments too, y'all that are watching. I see Travis McGee, Tara Taylor, James Ramari, Deja. Okay, top 5 artists that are on your playlist that are like not common, like your B-sides, okay? Your B-sides. I'll go first. Gareth Duncan, Durand Bernard, let me see. I'm trying to think about all the time. Ari Lennox.
Nice.
What is his name? Something Day.
Lucky Day?
Yeah, there we go. Lucky Day. Lucky Day. And then for wild card, I'll say I've been listening to a lot of HBCU band. So the Texas Southern Ocean of Soul has been carrying me through. They did Coma LaFleur.
Oh, they did.
I think they were playing Alcorn, or is it Alcorn? I never know how to say it. It was Alcorn. They played Coma LaFleur.
Wow.
Marching band.
Yeah.
I mean, and they did it like Brian is over there killing it. But you don't have to get 5 because that took me a while. Give me 3.
So right now what's on my mix is Carol G, who's a reggaeton artist, Tina Turner, and probably 9 Inch Nails.
Ooh, that is a nice mix. That's a nice look at Rain. Y'all can't see Rain because Rain is over here. But Rain is over there just like, yeah. I think you got you another voter tonight. Deja says Leon Thomas. Leon Thomas did the Mutt song. I heard it before everybody else, and they played it too much.
Yeah, they played it.
They played it too much, like the fan song, with the boots on the ground.
Where the fans
That,
at?
I was exhausted. Stop it. They still playing Mutt. They're still playing Mutt. James says Kate Trinata and Alex Fringe. Yes, love Kate Trinata. Kate Trinata or Kate Trinata. I don't know which one it is, but very good stuff. Tara Taylor says Odile. Okay. Never heard of that one. Deja says Odile Elmian. Jasmine Sullivan. Okay. And Olivia Dean. Deja says he was head yesterday. He was everything. Oh, he was here. He was here. I'm reading through her syntax errors. Go ahead, Miss Markia Bordeaux.
Yes. Top 3. Number 1, Mariah Carey. She's the greatest of all time. So I'm going to go to Vegas and see her. But yeah, Mariah Carey, I was just listening to her today. 2, don't judge, but Kenny G. Kenny G, I love putting on Kenny G when I'm just like doing work and I need to be busy.
I used to do lo-fi and now I do smooth jazz.
Smooth jazz. It does. It's just calm, collective, get the work done. And then 3, I'm going to say Jeezy when I'm in trial mode. Yeah, if I'm getting ready for trial, I know it's going to be contested.
Okay.
I'll put on some Jeezy. Get ready. Get in the zone.
Okay. Jovan for Houston.
I'm an old. Thank you. I'm an old soul. You know, so it shifts and it changes. But currently, it's Charles Mingus, Chet Baker, Nina Simone, and Etta James.
Oh
wow! Look at that.
You are an old soul.
Yeah. So y'all over there eating wine and cheese. y'all making what do they call a charcuterie board at your house? Okay. Travis says Johnny Taylor, Bobby Blue Bland, Bobby Womack.
Oh yeah.
Yes, cooking music. If y'all don't know, Travis McGee. I don't know. He hasn't done it lately. Have you met Travis?
Mm-mm.
So Travis McGee used to go live and like show his cooking. And he would do it a lot. Him and Justin Jordan used to do it too. But like Travis's was always like down home. Like it was like you see his and like you want to just go over there and sit and be like, bring me a drink, pass that crown over here. But no, so that no, and you have to meet Travis McGee too. You have to meet Travis McGee. I do think in your race, and we're going to talk about it later, in your race, like it was razor thin. And I think it is going to be like y'all's race is in December, right?
That's my understanding.
December 8th?
13th.
13th.
My understanding, but mayor has to call it and make it official.
And I'm confused. Okay, and then tell me this too, because I mean, I don't know. So like you're in the runoff, does like the Secretary of State or somebody call you today and be like, hey, did you see the news? Or
No.
like how does that literally happen? How does that happen?
We read the results just like everyone else.
Really?
Yeah.
That is wild. Haven't y'all always wondered?
Yes.
Like, do they call you? Hi, may I please speak to Alejandra Salinas, please? Yes, this is the Secretary of State. You made it into the runoff, and here's what we need you to send. We need you to fill out this docu-sign and this and that. And it's like, no, like, you know. You
That's
just
from my
send
papeles.
Right. Oh, my gosh. That is wild. So stay here. You're going to stay here till 8?
Yep.
Excellent. All right. Now, the next candidate that we're going to go to now, and this is what's really interesting. So you have the position of justice for the peace. So interestingly enough, you don't have to actually have a law degree to be a justice of the peace. These people handle, now, correct me, and I'm just shooting from the hip, right? So Mr. Schetzer, Westbury High School, class 2005, government. Is it small claims up to 5,000?
Small claims 20,000.
20,000.
Yeah.
20,000. Oh, that's Judge Judy. I'm thinking of Judge Judy.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of thinking of small claims court. And you handle evictions.
Mm-hmm.
I will say Jeremy Brown, who is on your team, I believe.
Yes.
Jeremy Brown, amazing person. When he became Justice of the Peace, before Wanda Adams, jumped in that race and, she got the name ID. That's another story.
Mm-hmm.
he was doing some very, very interesting things with that court. I mean, like, I learned so much about the Justice of the Peace Court because of all the amazing things. I would like log on to Facebook and Jeremy's court is doing a workshop and they're bringing in people to do this. And I'm like, wow, I always thought of a judge as someone who wore a black robe and gave sentences, but it could be so much more.
So much more.
You're running, tell the people.
What a segue. I love that. That is, yes. Let me start over because I get excited when we start talking about JP and all the cool things. But yeah, Markia Bordeaux, I'm running for Justice of the Peace. So Precinct 7, Place 2. So that is 3rd Ward where we are now, all the way down to Sunnyside, part of the Med Center, NRG, a little bit west towards Mo City. And I'll be on the ballot in the 2026 primary. So look out for me, vote for me. But JP courts are cool courts. Like, they're courts that a lot of people don't know about. When you think of a court, you're thinking of like a district court or maybe like Supreme Court, but JP courts are everyday community courts. Most people in your community are going into a municipal court, which is like a city court, or JP court, which is county. And to your point about the gentleman who was in place 1, you can do really good work and you have a lot more discretion as a judge in a JP court to bring in community resources, services, workshops, job fairs, pro bono attorneys. Like, there's so much good work that you can do. And I decided I'm running for this court because I felt like in Precinct 7, Place 2, that wasn't happening. It's a predominantly Black and brown part of Houston. It's a historical part of Houston. And I love this community. And I think that they need to benefit from a judge that's innovative and cares about, outcomes rather than just having the robe and sitting on the bench.
Absolutely. I first met you, as I said earlier, because you were with the Houston Area Urban League.
Yeah.
Young professionals. And I want to say it was like, I was living in Detroit, which was a mess. And it was during the pandemic.
Yes, it was crazy
times. And so it was like, there was a whole lot going on. So you've been involved in the community for a while. Other than Houston Area Urban League, what are some of the other stuff that you
Yeah, I actually started out NAACP. So I knew about NAACP when I was younger. I mean, parents taught me about it, saw about it on the news and, in community. And then when I got to Houston and got involved a little bit more in civil rights, the Urban League popped up and I was like, oh my God, there's young professionals. There's like young Black people doing great work and youth empowerment and professional development. So got involved with Urban League and was doing some NAACP work. Now I'm with, of course, Houston Lawyers Association. So I'm president-elect of that.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's good. We do really good work. Thank you. Do good work, scholarships, good community work, law, legal clinics, all of the things. But, my parents taught me from a very young age that nothing really else matters except helping your neighbor, like giving back, no matter how much you have or how little you have, like always try to give back in some way. So I've always been very like service oriented. And sometimes that's like at fault because I just am always giving more and not taking more in. But that's why I decided to run for JP.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I can teach you about that because I used to do
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
Tell you, Uncle Darrell will show you how to pull back.
Yes.
Okay?
I
Because
need to
back
learn.
in the day, I was attending everybody's meetings. I was just give, and then
Yeah.
I would scroll through and it was like, oh my God, who was giving to me?
Yeah.
And
Who's pouring into me?
and not only that, I'll say I organize a TED event called TEDx 3rd Ward. So I have a license to do a TED event. And so I facilitate the event, but then also I applied first. I'm 1 in 1. So I applied and I was accepted. I'm doing a TED talk on November 15th.
I saw.
Yes. The title, Why You Should Probably Break Up with Most of Your Current Friends.
Whoa.
Oh, I'm there. I'm sad.
I'm going there. Because I think that's a huge like part of like development. Like your first friends are like your cousins and the people that you go to school with that you're proximate to. And then it's like, no, like you need to do friends that like to listen to the music that y'all were talking about, that do the things like you're talking about, and that pour into you like you pour into them. And so I take score.
Yeah.
I take score. I did a post the other day about this. I got a really good deal on a car and put it in a mechanic shop and really good deal. And people were hitting me up. Didn't even know me. Don't even know my mama name. Talking about, hey, let me get the number to the mechanic. And this and it's like, no, I take score.
Yeah.
You do not know me. You do not know. I won't put that in the message, but I'll say that just in a different way.
Facts.
But back to Markia.
Yeah. I love this. And I'm sad for the TED Talk. Can't wait for that.
And I'll say this. potentially future council member, with HLA. I will say so I know the dean of the law school at U of H.
Mhm.
I would love for there to be, and I know so many people that are thinking about taking the LSAT, thinking about going to law school, wouldn't it be cool if we did an accessible, now I know they already exist, there are probably big orgs that do this, but they're either not accessible or they're boring.
Yeah.
Okay? They're boring. So can we do one? Can we do a hashtag so you want to go to law school like boot camp?
Absolutely.
And it could be like virtual.
Yeah.
It could be pulling together people like you and people like you to actually give people an idea of what it really looks like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To actually do it. Now, I don't want to be a lawyer. Hey, I tip my hat.
Yeah.
But, there are things and there are a lot of people who want to do it. It's okay. So I got a yes and a yes.
Yeah.
So
I'm here for it.
Hey, okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good. So
I have to warn them though. Law school it's a tough.
that's what I always hear.
Tough.
That's what I always hear. And I will say, like, I won't put this person out there, but I was reading a person's post yesterday and they were saying it's 7 p.m. and I'm taking a break for dinner because I have 200 on my caseload that are depending on me, blah, blah, blah. And I just thought to myself, like, that is not sustainable. Like, I think about it, like, we had 607 applicants to TEDx Third Ward. And then we had 150 semifinalists.
Wow.
I don't even know all their names, right? And then, so it's like, how are you, I don't know. We got a lot to fix, and so you're running to fix it.
Yeah. Running to fix it. It's, like I said, it's such a unique opportunity and a unique court. And I think that most people, when they're walking in the courtroom doors, this is probably one of the worst moments of their life, like facing an eviction or facing a claim, a debt claim or, a small claims lawsuit. And so for me, my thought is before people walk in the courtroom doors, making sure they have all the tools that they need to be successful, whether the outcome is in their favor or not. But if you're facing an eviction, right, knowing who to contact, in the city or the county for financial services or resources, pro bono attorneys. There are legal clinics at the South Texas College of Law, the University of Houston Law Center, Thurgood Marshall, where there's brilliant, law students who are like chomping at the bit to do pro bono work, like tapping into all of the things that are available in Harris County, all of the services. There's diversion programs that are offered that, many JPs in Harris County are doing, some aren't. But just tapping into those services to make sure people have all the tools they need before they're walking in the courtroom doors. And then when they're leaving out of the courtroom doors, they're going to be in a better position than when they entered. And that's my motto and vision.
Boom. I think you just got your first ad right there.
Record it.
Audio. Hey, Quincy, you got it? Okay, so that is good. And before we go to Mr. Jovan for Houston, what's your origin story? Where'd you grew up in Houston?
No, I grew up in Copperscove, Texas. So
is that near Dallas?
I'm about to break it down. So it's Central Texas. My mom is retired military. Thank you, Mom, for your service. But at Killeen, Fort Hood. So that's where I grew up. And I knew I wanted to go to an HBCU, and you were shouting out TSU earlier. And I got to shout out Prairie View because that's my alma mater.
Okay.
But I knew I wanted to go to an HBCU, so I applied and then actually followed my best friend to Prairie View. Best decision of my life. And I think that my experience at Prairie View definitely radicalized me, but in a good way. Yes. When you go to an HBCU, you're around people that look like you. They're very unapologetic. Our professors pour into you. And my first time voting was 2008 for President Barack Obama. At an HBCU, I'm like 18 years old, and I'm like, I'm voting for the first Black president. And from there, I knew I was going to get involved in politics. I didn't know how. I knew I was going to go to law school, but definitely my experience coming to Prairie View, coming to Houston, I mean, it just shaped me to who I am, why I want to give back, why I love this city, why I love this county. So that's my origin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, love the band at Prairie View. Love the band. Do you have friends in the band?
I did when I was undergrad. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But you weren't in the band.
Absolutely not.
Okay, see, I was ready to make an endorsement.
No, absolutely not. I saw how hard they worked.
They
I mean,
do.
when their crab season is what they call it.
Yes.
And I was like, I support y'all, but I'm going to be over here in the College of Juvenile Justice, and I'll be at the game.
Yes.
So yeah, but in
Yes.
Prairie View, shout out to them. We're number 1 in SWAC right now. I think we're playing. It's either Alabama A&M or Alcorn for the SWAC championship. So
Is it time for that already? It's like you blink.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my gosh, it's
Yeah.
over. Because usually what I do every year, I look at like the football schedule for Southern, Jackson State, and then Texas Southern. So I look for when Texas Southern is either playing one of them here.
Yeah.
So like I think I went to,
Excuse me.
I'm trying to think of who were they playing. Man,
Texas
TSU
Southern.
was over there, and then I
Yeah.
forget which game.
Yeah, it's good. It's
Must have
getting
been.
down to the wire.
Oh, it was the Labor Day Classic.
Oh yeah.
It was the Labor Day Classic. Yeah, so that was
Yeah.
Prairie View. Prairie View was here this year.
That
and
was
it
an intense game. Last year TSU
Oh my
stunned us, but
gosh.
we came back this year. We did well.
That was. And I mean, the
Um,
band was just over there just
yeah.
like, it was wild.
Yeah, but I have love for TSU. It is situated in Third Ward.
Yes.
Again, Thurgood Marshall, some of the brightest,
Mhm.
law students and lawyers that are coming out of that school. And they've been very supportive. I mean, I've been on the trail early. I know I'm on the ballot in the primary, but I've been out there
Who's in that seat or running for that seat?
for which one?
The one that you're running for?
The current incumbent.
Yes.
Her name is Sharon Burney. Yeah.
Oh,
So
I've heard some
Yeah.
things.
Well, I will say this, there's a history of her mom is Zanetta Burney, who, and I just give flowers where flowers are due. She is a trailblazer, Black woman, attorney.
Yeah.
So I have to shout that out and definitely acknowledge that, right? Like we, especially being a young person running for office, you are standing on the shoulders of
Right.
people that came before you. And I'm running because I'm a trailblazer myself. Like my mom was a trailblazer herself. And so I believe in myself, my abilities. I care about the community. And I know I can do good work in that seat. And so I just got to go out, talk to the voters, let them know who I am, why they should vote for me, and know that you put me on the bench and we're going to bring some changes to Precinct 7 for sure.
That is awesome. A lot of people, they look at it like if you're running against an incumbent that like you have some ill will towards them. And that's not so. And it shouldn't be that way. And I think incumbents should welcome. If I was a sitting judge or state rep or something like that, state senator or member of Congress, and somebody wants to run against me, I would have enough faith in my ability. I'd be like, come on over here and get some points. Come on over here and learn a little something. I wouldn't fear it, and I wouldn't push against it. And so I applaud you for doing that.
Yeah, I wanna add Ann Johnson. Remember, they broke quorum.
Yes.
So shout out to Ann Johnson. Shout out to Jolanda Jones, who's my representative.
She's mine too.
Really, shout out to Jolanda. But I remember Ann Johnson said one thing when she was talking about just the importance of the moment of breaking quorum, and she was saying that elected officials, if they're only showing up when it's time to get your vote, you're not worthy of public service. And so that's a motto that I would like. It resonated with me because if you're only showing up in community, again, I've been doing this not from Houston, but I've been here a while, 15 years, and Urban League, NAACP, Houston Lawyers. I've seen the people who are in the communities who are doing the good work. And if I'm not seeing you in that community, then you are not worthy of public service. You're not worthy of the vote of Harris County. And so that's my motto. Ann Johnson said it first, but I'm adopting it. But I really believe that's true, and it's nothing against any incumbent, but if you believe in yourself, run for office.
Absolutely.
That's democracy.
Yeah. I've worked with you before from afar, but I've never just heard you just, give your thoughts. And so I'm like, wow, look at this. We're going to be all right, y'all. We got some good people that want to be involved. And another one of them is Mr. Jovan Tyler. This is your second time.
Yes.
This is your second time on
I
the podcast.
love the Black House.
Yes. Listen. And I'll tell y'all, this just started. I can't even believe I have like people want to be on here. People want to be on here. It's a hobby. Like literally, I was like, hey, let's just, and now it's like it's forcing me to like have to build systems and like it's like, wow, like there's another job. I don't want another job, But Jovan, you are running for office. Give folks your origin story. How did you get into all of this?
Well, I was raised in a house by a set of grandparents who
Mm-hmm.
believed in activism.
Mm-hmm.
And so they put that seed in me really early. And like Alejandra, a story you may not know, I was student council president in the 8th grade
Really? Where?
at Francis Scott Key.
At Key Middle School.
And get this, I hope this guy isn't watching because I'm going to tell the entire story.
Ooh, tell it for real. Give me some ratings. Come on. What happened
I
to
ran
Key?
against a young man named Brandon Johnson. And my campaign managers were Athena Crawford and Tavari Campbell
You had campaign managers?
in the 8th grade.
It was serious business.
And
Serious.
I ran an extraordinarily
Oh my God, of course
successful
you did. You had campaign managers in the 8th grade.
campaign. And I won.
We have some candidates that were running
Yes.
for Congress that didn't have
Yes.
campaign managers.
Yes. The amount of people that voted for Brandon were 113.
Oh, he remembers the totals.
Wow.
I won that election,
Uh-huh.
1,092.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is wild. So okay, well that makes sense. That
Yeah.
checks out. That'll
Yeah.
that'll do it.
Yeah.
And so
And so
Francisca-
from that point on, in junior high and then high school, my nickname was Mr. President.
you know what the people. I was Mr. Mayor
Yeah.
in middle school, and some other. When you're black and you enunciate and you wear you tuck your shirt in. You kind of get a nickname or two. I kid. One day I'm gonna get in trouble. One day I'm just gonna. One day the train's just gonna veer a little too.
Well, I was happy to be Mr. President because my first nickname in school was Nervous because I stutter.
Oh, wow.
And people would jump.
Do you still stutter?
I do.
I've never heard you stutter.
I do. You have to listen real closely, but I still stutter.
Wow.
Yeah. It'll happen one day, trust me.
Okay. I've never heard it, but I'll take it.
Yep.
And so you're running for at large 5.
5, yes.
And so what is that like? I will say to those folks who are thinking about running, and as we think about CD18, it's really like I was laying in bed and I was like, wait a minute. So Christian and Amanda have a runoff that's probably going to be in January
Yes. Or February.
or February.
Yep.
And at the same time, whoever wants to run in the primary should be campaigning now.
Right now.
So they just finished. Like, I could just imagine what it's like, the calculation that you have to do, how much to save in reserves for the runoff, and then the this, and then the that. You're exhausted.
Yeah.
And then to also have, oh my gosh, then you have Al Green who's sitting there like, yeah, come on, what you got? It's like, wait, it's almost not fair. It's really not fair. Because it's like that person's gonna have February,
Yep.
March,
Yep.
and then a runoff,
Yep.
Mhm. Yeah.
and November. That's
general.
4 races.
Yep.
And then what are you telling these donors? Because I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you money once. Don't call me again. Don't call me again until you get swore in. I get invited to the thing. I get chips and dip in your office. That opens up an opportunity for another contribution.
Yeah.
Other than that, don't call me, because some people will probably be confused. Like, wait a minute, I thought you won,
Yeah.
or wait, what? So you're getting ahead of it.
Yep.
It is 2025.
Yep.
You're running in 2027.
Yes.
Like I said, don't waste your time.
So I did it for a couple of reasons.
Okay.
Reason number one, probably the primary reason.
Yes.
I think Houston needs help.
Mm-hmm.
We have a housing crisis. We have an efficiency crisis. We have a local voices crisis coupled with a livability crisis, and we have a progress crisis. Houston needs help,
Yes.
and I think I'm the guy that can get in there and do something to help Houston. Simultaneously, I never like when people show up that you've never seen who ask for a vote, who have no idea about the issues or the concerns in your community.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you something, starting early, I'm learning a lot about Houston. I'm learning a lot about communities who've said to me, folks who are running for office don't show up, and folks who are in office never show up.
They tell you to call 311.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
say, you walk up to them and you're like, hey, they're like, call 311. Yeah, continue.
I had breakfast with someone this morning who said that politicians have just given up on their community. They just don't show up. And so as a result, the people in the community don't think politics works for them. So they don't vote.
Mm.
I think that's a problem. I think it's a problem locally. I know it's a problem statewide, and I firmly feel like it's a problem nationwide. My grandparents, like y'all's grandparents, fought for the right for us to be able to vote. And this is something in which people died. They gave their life so that we could have the opportunity to vote. I want to get people off their butts, get inspired about a campaign. You know, the nicest thing about Alejandra is that I have seen her inspire a campaign. There was a hypothesis that only 10% of the folks were going to come out and vote in that special election. They broke that, and she was a major part of that. People would see her walk into a room and their face would light up.
Yeah.
Breath of fresh air. That's what this city needs. Not the same old, same old. And I'm not criticizing, not beating anybody up. I'm not saying anything that I wouldn't say to their face.
I mean, it was pretty close. I thought you were about to say his name. Okay, but anyway. I was like, hey, whoa. I'm messing. I kid.
But Houston,
freedom of speech.
but Houston, when I think about Houston, I think about Houston being an innovative, inspiring, uplifting city that people want to move to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Houston is the home of NASA, which helped facilitate putting a man on the moon. Houston is home of the largest medical center in the world. People fly from around the world for life-saving treatments. So Houston is not a place where we can afford to have the same old thinking, the same old arrangements, backroom arrangements.
Yeah.
We need folks who are unbought, who work for the people, and who are willing to do whatever it takes to get our city back on track. So that's why I'm running.
Absolutely. How y'all do it? Y'all do it like that? Kids do that? Yeah. And could y'all swap places right quick?
Of course,
right?
absolutely.
Because we're gonna have somebody else to come in, and I'm gonna ask. So my mother says yes, Houston does need help. Houston does need help. So that's cleared through QC to go on your signs.
Yes.
And then Deja says there's an epidemic of voter apathy in Houston, and it's terrifying to see so many people discouraged. We're about to talk about this election in just a second, but first I want to introduce someone. She is the executive director of the Acres Homes Community Action Group. Advocacy. What did I say? Community action?
I mean, we about that action, but
You about that
advocacy.
action. Advocacy. And I do
group.
it all the time, and I should know because I'm on the board.
Listen,
I should know I'm on the board.
say
I always call it AHCAG.
Yeah, that's easy.
Right. AHCAG. And she's a former congressional candidate. She's a former, we've worked together on a bunch of different projects. I hope and I pray that she runs for office again. And when she does, I'll be right there. Now, don't run for at-large 5.
No.
We don't want to do that. That's kind of done for.
I want action. Not that.
Not that action.
Or JP Precinct 7.
JP7. JP7. Don't do it.
Like, I know all the bases I'm not going to touch.
So tell the folks a little bit about you that I didn't.
Yes. So I am Rain. I do things. I usually say that because my resume is on the little bit of the long side, but I am a Houston native. My origin story actually starts in Trinity Gardens. My mother, my family, I have so many deep roots in Trinity Gardens, in Kashmere Gardens, and in Fifth Ward. That's where all of my family really kind of congregates. But my mother and I actually moved to Acres Homes about the age of 7, and I've literally been there ever since. If I did go anywhere else, it was between Acres Homes and Greens Point. And so growing up, I was very blessed. My mom, my dad, my grandfather, my village kind of wrapped around me whenever I showed any proclivity to music, singing, whatever. So they paid for the piano lessons, this, that, and the third. And I grew up with a sense of just deep gratitude, but deep obligation that I wanted to give back to my community. And then something happened. The Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee came to Sweet Home Missionary Baptist Church for a proclamation, and it was a relatively sleepy church. But that was the first time I saw the mothers of the church kind of go in a tizzy. And somebody told me I needed to go put my doily on, and I hadn't put that on in a minute. I'm like, what's going on? Who is this person? And my mother explained at the time, that's Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee. Her job is to help us. And so we are really excited to have her here. Couple of months or so later, I'm getting ready to go ride my bike up the street. And this is while I'm in Acres Homes, but I lived down the street from the dispatch center. So cop sirens were normal for me growing up, especially around early 2010s. There were a lot of serial killings, things of that nature in the Acres Homes area. So I went to sleep to the sound of sirens. That was very normal for me. So I'm young at this point. I just met Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, and I'm getting ready to ride my bike. And my mom was like, no, for your safety, I need you to just go in the driveway if you want to ride your bike, because it's dangerous right now. The thing about having a very bright child is that they connect the dots very arbitrarily. So I ended up having a vendetta in that moment, because I was like, why can't I, if Congresswoman Lee is doing her job, then I should be able to ride my bike. She's not doing her job. I'm going to take her job. I'm going to do So at 10 years old, I had in my mind, I'm going to be the Congresswoman so everybody could ride their bike wherever they wanted to. It just kind of carried into high school. And initially, I went to Houston Baptist University. I think they switched it to Houston Christian University. And my whole plan, I will take that course that you guys are coming up with. But my first initial plan was to go to HBU, become an attorney, and then run for representative of District 18, because I thought that was the proper way to go about it. 2 years and a 2.1 GPA later, I was like, ooh, maybe I don't need to go this way. Maybe I need to go somewhere else. And so I ended up going to TSU.
Don't say it like that. Don't say it like that.
It's friendly. It's all love. It's all love. No, I can't, side note, I love PV's choir, Dr. Jan Taylor. I was so jealous. But anyway, long story short, I ended up going to TSU, and that same level of just Black pride kind of overwhelmed me, because I went from being one fleck of pepper in a sea of salt to suddenly seeing people with beautiful locks and seeing all different types of ethnicities up and down the Tiger Walk, and they're speaking in AAVE, but they're giving dissertations or they're talking about research projects. And I'm like, I didn't know these two worlds could collide. And it just made me want to give back to my neighborhood more. Through a series of unfortunate events, I think you and I ended up seeing each other around 2020. And I say a series of unfortunate events because 2020 was the pandemic. It was wild. And so I ended up following you through my baby girl, Miss Denisha. And I ended up connecting with you over Houston Justice to work on the police accountability work we were doing. You just kind of threw me to the wall.
That's what happens. Hey, let me tell you, when you reached out, because it doesn't happen often. When you get, when you got a good one. When you're fishing, you're like, ooh, this is a good one right here. This is one, and you've proven yourself to do just that. But yeah, I was like, oh no, I'm going to baptize you. I'm going to throw you in. If you reach out to me.
It wasn't even any warning. I think that was the most I had ever been on TV that summer. Yeah. And it was just interview after interview with talking points. And it was stuff that I was aware of. Yeah. But every time I'm like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah,
I'm
go
like,
ahead.
you're fine. Because I knew you were good. And that was the thing. I was like, oh, she's fine. She needs to do it. KTRK, Channel 13, yeah, go. You're all right.
But it was because of that connection, I was actually able to be connected to Councilmember Tarsha Jackson.
I remember the evening. Let me tell you. We were at Culture. We were recording that commercial. So Marcus Davis, who owns the Breakfast Club, he also owns Culture.
Oh.
And so it was closed down during the pandemic. And so he let us use it because we were recording like an ad or something. He's let us use the Breakfast Club. He's an amazing person. Shout out to Marcus Davis.
Yes.
Go over there and get y'all some fish and grits.
Yes.
But I remember being at the thing and looking over at you talk to Tarsha. And I was like, damn, she's going to work for Tarsha. I just knew it. I just knew it. I was like, and it made sense. And then I was like, and then Tarsha's about to win this race. And then, so when you called me to let me know,
I was so sad.
but I saw it coming. Like when I saw that Tarsha won, I was like, okay. And what I told you, go over there and get that good city.
Yep.
I said, go get that good city insurance
Yes.
and that good city pay. And that's what
My God.
And I said, yeah. I said, there's one more person that when I need someone at the city, you're one more person I could call.
Yeah.
And hopefully you'll pick up my call.
Oh,
And that was it.
And
Yeah.
then it was the honor of my life to be able to work as the director of constituent services for District B for about a year and a half. And then I got really convicted because I was overwhelmed with how, I will say it, I was incredibly jealous of my old stomping ground because Northeast Houston is an organizing machine.
Yeah.
But I also recognized that for what Tarsha was doing in the beginning stages of her campaign and in her incumbency, you can't just rely on the goodwill nature of a candidate. You also need an engaging community. And I saw that I wanted to show and teach and help build that same organizing arm in the northwest side of the community. Because there's a very misconceived notion that just because you're on the west side of the freeway, that everything's pretty good. But you have pockets of communities like Independence Heights and Acres Homes that get overshadowed. And we're just kind of left to our own devices because, oh, well, there's development over there anyway. You guys are, you'll be all right. And it's furthest thing from the case. And so that's when I made the very sad decision to actually chase and pursue the community advocacy group.
Yes.
And that is where I've been for the last 3 years.
It's hard to believe it's been 3 years. You also made a run for Congress.
Yes.
And to that point, we're going to put up the numbers from CD 18 up here on the screen. There were a whole heap of people that ran.
Yeah.
It was like 87 people that announced. It was like 87.
I mean, it might as well, but it was like
was-
16 people who still stayed in the race.
Everybody was talking about it. Oh, we'll do at-large floor first. We'll do that one first. So
That's crazy.
Alejandra Salinas is in the lead. We went to sleep. You're in second place. So that means election day you kicked ass.
We
That's
did.
what that means.
We did.
Election day you kicked ass. You were also like a very strong. It was a tizzy. So tell us, what does this look like to you? What do you attribute to your first place finish?
Well, I mean, I'm a first-time candidate, and I had to introduce a city of 2.4 million people to a new person, a new campaign, a new message. And I really attribute it to we were doing the work. We were knocking on doors in August. We were doing digital communications. We were talking to voters by mail. I was at a church, 2 churches, 1, 2, 3 churches every Sunday. We were out in community since the start of the campaign and speaking to all different groups. We didn't leave anything on the table. And I think that is what set us apart, is that we had a broad, effective communication message. We had campaign fellows, we had campaign volunteers, all these incredible validators who are spreading our message. And I think a good campaign is when you're operating on all cylinders. And I think that's what we were able to do. And that's what we're so excited to do in the runoff.
Absolutely. You're going to be in a runoff with Dwight Boykins, former city council member. He has a lot of name recognition. He was counting on that CD 18 race, which is not going to be on the same day as the runoff. So in my opinion, you really got to do some stuff. You really want to win. And then we have Jordan Thomas, another one who, momentum came to his side. He really found his groove, and hopefully he runs for office again. And then, Sonia Rivera, we won't really talk about her. Can we put the next one up? Because I do want to talk about CD 18. We had a congressional race. And do you have one with the numbers? Christian Menifee and Amanda Edwards. Can you scroll down? No? Oh, you didn't have it? Okay, it's fine. Amanda Edwards is in second place behind Christian Menifee, who ran both of them ran very impressive campaigns, and we will have to see who will be in the lead. It's really interesting. I had one of your opponents, okay, who and I'm not gonna say their name. They could be white, but they know who they are. They're the only candidate that I donated to in your race. I didn't donate to you or Dwight or anybody else. I donated to this person, and she hurt my feelings. Oh. She reached out to me and she was like, I don't think, because I write a piece for the Forward Times every week, right? And then I do this thing on Wednesday. I mean, it's a hobby, right? But apparently, she's looking at me like I'm some conglomerate who's keeping her out. And I guess if you really zoom out and look at it, it can be. Maybe I need to boost up my LinkedIn. But she's like, yeah, you didn't, blah, 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 because I didn't have her in this seat. Now, I will say this. Give me the one shot. If you're running for office, okay? If you're running for office, it is up to you to do what this lady right here just said. Knock on doors. Become interesting. Become a reason for somebody to write some shit about you. Okay? And if you don't, then you get what you get.
That's true.
You get what you get. And for everybody watching, okay? I don't want the stuff in the inbox. You need to add this person. You need to. Who's paying for the podcast? Who's paying the hourly rate? This is not a democracy. This is the Black House. This is the Darrell Douglas Show. I do what I want to do. I literally do what I want to do. That's why I wanted to talk directly to y'all, right? So that I do not care. Do not write me. Do not reach out. Do not give me suggestions. Now you give me suggestions, but don't give me demands. Okay, we can go back to the TikTok. But I will say, really, really interesting. I will say this too about CD 18. We were talking about it earlier. I have nothing against Amanda, okay? But I will say, I'm ready to make an announcement. I'm endorsing Christian Menifee. And here's why. I think when looking for someone who's running for office, right? I want someone who's going to be strategic. I want someone who's going to be thoughtful. And I will say, seeing, Amanda Edwards run for city council, she could have been Chris Hollins right now. She's supposed to be the controller and she's supposed to be the next mayor. She made a choice to run for the U.S. Senate. Then she made the decision to run, I think, for mayor and then for Congress. And then it's just like, well, what will she run for next? And that is not to knock her, because I think people should be able to run for whatever you want. But you also have to suffer the consequences of the decisions that you make. And so I will do all that I can in the next, however many days it is, whenever the governor decides. It's the governor, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Whenever the governor decides to make sure that Christian Deshaun Menifee is the next member of Congress. I will also say, and I should have emailed it to him, but when I do the clips, I not like to do the clips. When I do the clips, I'm gonna put up Al Green's flyer. Okay. His Microsoft Word Paint Windows 95 flyer announcing the eve of filing. What the hell is even that? Okay. Now here's the thing. With all due respect to the congressman, I have no ill will, power to the people. However, read the room. We have just gone through a tumultuous time. We're currently without representation right now, because of decisions that were made by precinct chairs and this and that. And we have to call a thing a thing. We have to call a thing a thing. And I think that it is an absolute travesty. I think it is absolutely selfish for Al Green to run against whoever's going to run. This is confusing. To, every now and then, because my parents divorced. But in this case, I was actually for it. I was an advocate for the divorce. I was pulling mom to the side like, hey, do it! But a lot of times it's like, think of the children. And so I say to you, Congressman Al Green, think of the voters. You have run many good races. You've represented us since the 90s. And I think you should pull a Lloyd Doggett. Lloyd Doggett and Greg Casar were put in the same district, and Lloyd Doggett got ahead of it and opened it up for Greg Casar. There is blood on the floor.
Yeah.
We can't do this anymore. Okay.
I would also say this is a charge for the community as well, because I think we have kind of fallen victim of just going for the same thing over and over again, going for something that's familiar, something that's safe, something that's known. And I think that's why we had so many different conversations around who would be the last people in the race for District 18.
Yeah.
I ended up pulling out because although I had every good intention of running, I stand by what I said.
Yeah.
Good intentions and good vibes aren't going to get us what we need, especially in an administration that's as hostile as it is right now. And so we have to be realistic with what our choices are before us. But in order for us to be realistic, we have to be paying attention. And in order for us to be paying attention, we have to actually take a look at what's before us, not just go for the thing that seems familiar, that seems comfortable. Oh, well, we know Al Green. No, my people, please. If you see
we're in a state of emergency.
We're
right
in
now.
a state of emergency, and we cannot go back into familiarity. We are not afforded the luxury of just blindly following a name we know.
Right.
We need to actually trust those who have been tried and tested and proven that they have strategy. And that's definitely something that I think for those of us who are in the sphere, we have to hold our communities accountable and say, hey, we can't just do the lazy thing of just going after somebody who's been around.
Right.
We need to actually do the work of lifting up new leaders.
And it's the conversation too is around our elders trusting in the next generation to take the mantle, take the torch, whatever it is that we're taking, and to be able to lead and trust in us to get into the race, to do good work. I firmly believe that Christian or Amanda, whoever, wins the election, will do good work. But I love Al Green. I'm CD9, he's my forever congressman, and so grateful, again, standing on the shoulders of giants like Al Green. He's a pillar, right? But in this moment, in this country right now, like Rain said, it's a state of emergency. We need people who are going to go in and fight and be able to bring that new energy to Congress. We are not in normal times right now. Our democracy is slipping away every day. So, he has the right to run, but I think, like you said, just trusting the people, and then the voters, we need the voters to vote accordingly.
Absolutely. And then I'll say too, I think for folks that are thinking about running for office, if you tell me that you're running for office, you should be prepared to do a few things. One of those things, you have to ask for money. You're going to have to raise money. And if you can't ask me for money, then how you gonna go down to Congress and ask for the district, right? Well, so that's the first thing. And and there has to be a plan. There's so many different because one of my claims to fame, I have raised, of course, spearheaded, pulled together, over $500,000 for candidates that I believe in. $500,000, right? And it's 30 and 50 at a time. We raised $10,000 a couple of weeks ago for Jeff Boney, who ran for mayor of Missouri City. We raised $30,000. And these were with people who had never raised money before, right? And so I think as we think about really building the infrastructure, it's going to take not only people to run, but it's going to take donors, it's going to take bundlers, it's going to take field people, it's going to take designers, so that when we're actually building this thing out, it's not pissing in the wind. It is actually something to play with. When I ran in Michigan, I ran in Detroit for state rep. I was recruited to run. I said no at first, but there was a group of people who were like, you should do this. I was recruited, right? So if it's just you, think about it. But it should be a group of people. And I'll never forget, that first day, because there's X amount of days before you could put the signs out. And we had been phone banking, asking people about signs. So when the day came, it was like, whoosh. And they were like, who the hell is Darrell Douglas? Who is this Durrell Douglas? Because my mom, and listen, and my mom is watching. My mom is watching. I tell her my name is supposed to have 2 L's, and one of these days I'm gonna add that extra L. But we are closing out. I want to say thank you to Alejandra Salinas, who came. You know, you sat down for breakfast. I was thoroughly impressed with your candidacy. You really like, whoa, like Alejandra. People was like, who the hell is this Alejandra, right? And so keep doing what you're doing. Sandra Lewis says Al Green should be supporting Christian Menifee, allowing the seniors to have a younger person to believe in. Not even just younger. I don't think it has to be someone younger. Can we just shuffle the deck?
You know.
I'll take a new 70-year-old. Is there a 72-year-old out there that we don't know that wants to run for something? It's just about like this whole musical chairs thing. Like, no. Markia Bordeaux, I tip my hat to you, and it's cool because whoever reached out on your behalf, first of all, you already got staff or whatever, volunteers, however it was, hey. But they were like, Markia, I was like, oh yeah, I've literally worked with you before, and that's the way you want it to happen. That's another thing for y'all that's thinking about doing it. You gotta have relationships with people.
Yeah.
And then I will say Rain Eatman. Oh my gosh. I'm hoping to see her, website and some other stuff so we could shake some things up in one of these races. And then of course, Jovan, can you get in there? Can you get Jovan in there? Get Jovan in there. Like I said, y'all, listen, he's running for at-large 5, so we're just going to put it out there. We're going to save someone's marriage.
Yeah.
Because there's someone out there who's thinking about running, and they're going to have to mortgage the house. They're going to have to sell. Don't sell the boat.
Please
right?
don't
Sell the boat. Don't get another lien.
It's
just don't run. Just support Jovan for at-large 5. And then I say to y'all that are watching, thank you for making this so cool. This was just an idea. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go down here on Wednesday. We're just going to talk. We're just going to do the thing. And it is slowly evolving into this really beautiful thing. And then I'll say this. Go and do the thing, whatever it is, right? Whether it is the affinity group that you want to start, the networking group, the breakfast, the nonprofit, the business, the whatever, go out there and do something today. And that may be pulling out a sheet of paper and making a list and putting some dates on a calendar. It could be making a list of people who you need to reach out to on LinkedIn. It could be making a list of mentors that you want to reach up to. It could be colleagues that you want to reach out to. It could be mentees that you need to bring, pour into. Y'all see what I did there?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I tell y'all, I should start a church. Anyway.
No, my God.
Anyway, I say to you, thank y'all so much. And we will see you next Wednesday. I will be in Atlanta this weekend for TED Next, which is a big TED conference. And then next weekend, I'm giving my first TED Talk, right? On why you should probably break up with most of your current friends. Thank you and good night. Well, how did Jerry Springer say? Take care of yourselves and each other.
Yes.